Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes.
Yeah.
Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us at BLPA Big Show on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones and Trish at Trish Dangle.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. Nick here. I hope everyone is having a good week, obviously. Hope you enjoyed our last episode because it featured Trish Dangle, and Trish is here with us again. Trish, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Before we get started here, everyone needs to go follow us, BLPA Big Show. So go follow us there. You can find me personally on Twitter at Nicker Jones, on Instagram at the Nicker Jones, and you can find Trish at
Trish Dangle. And if you're a beer leaguer like us or just an all-around good person, go and subscribe to the show while you're out there following us on everything. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts. We'd be super pumped if you gave us a review too, because that's how people can let us know that we're doing an all right job and help other good people find us. So rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff.
5 stars only. None of that 4-star and lower bullshit, all right? You're only 5 stars. If you give us lower than 5 stars, I'm going to fucking find you. I don't know if I'm going to fuck you up, but I'm going to think about it real hard. So don't do anything less than 5 stars. Today, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I got these this special pair of hockey gloves, actually 2 pairs, but one in particular that's really special. Mm-hmm. Trish has some questions about me being controversial, which isn't really the case, but whatever. And then we're going to talk about, what else are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the new Mighty Ducks series.
Oh, yeah, okay. We're going to talk about old Gordon Bombay coming back, big comeback season for Gordon. And then we're going to talk about, we have this interesting goalie story. It has to do with a nipple. So everyone look forward to the nipple story. But before we get there, I have an introduction. We're trying to bring on guests to try out, to be part. Hey, does BLPA have talent? I don't know. We're going to find out. So today we have one of my buddies. A lot of people in the BLPA already know him, especially if you come to our tournaments. But the man, the myth, the legend, we've got Danny Vibes. Dan, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, guys, how we doing?
That's just your little theme music for Danny Vibes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, even from what I'm told.
This guy doesn't even need music to get the party started. All he needs is a shot of moonshine, and he's ready to go, which is how he got the name Danny Vibes. Dan, do you remember that night? Do you remember becoming Danny Vibes?
I remember what you've told me, and I remember what I believe happened.
Okay. Well, you tell me what you believe happened, and then I'll tell you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you were playing music before the party started, during, and after till everybody left. But you're saying there wasn't. So now I'm not sure.
Okay. At one point in the night, first off, here's what happened. We were at the Cincinnati Draft Experience. We had the RV out. We had old Danny Vibes just made some cornhole, some tournament company cornhole. What do you call those? Cornhole boards, I guess. And we were having a good time.
Boards.
We were drinking. We were there was a food truck out there serving delicious wings. And there was something else. What else did he have that was really good? But anyway, it was an incredible night. Right? Parties going.
He was a sandwich place.
Yeah.
But the wings were what really stood out.
Yeah, he was a sandwich place that had incredible chicken with a special flavor. I couldn't figure out. He wouldn't even tell me the name of the flavor. He just said it's my special flavor. That's all he would give me. Smothered those bad boys in ranch, and they were And so basically the party's going, we're having fun, we're having drinks. My Randy comes over and says, "Hey, you guys want a shot of this moonshine?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do." And we're like, "Dan, you should come have a shot." Dan claims we told him it was water. That's 100%. Why would we give out shots of water, Dan?
That is definitely not.
Think about
none of this
that.
is what happened.
Think about
none of this is what happened.
Dan, why would we give shots of water at a draft party? This makes no sense.
Considering I was, handing out jerseys, working the computer a little bit. It wasn't Randy saying, "Hey, who wants to do a shot of moonshine?" Because Randy always has moonshine.
Well, he said it to me.
And it's always delicious. It's flavored. It's butterscotch. The butterscotch is very good. He has all these crazy flavors.
Red velvet, cherry Coke, watermelon. You name it, Randy's
all good,
shining it.
But it's all very tolerable. Like, it all tastes good. But for the draft rounds, Nick has this chug of beer or non-alcoholic ginger ale if that's what you're into. I always lose every time. It's never close. And this one time, for reasons we're not going to talk about, I slaughtered everybody. I won, wasn't close. Nick took one look at me. He's like, "That doesn't count." I'm like, "Well, come on, why not?"
You had to
like,
have been
right,
cheating. You had to have been.
Count,
100%.
If it's going to count, you have to do a shot. And he walks away, goes to Rainey. I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Brings back not a shot glass, not a little shot cup, full like the Dixie cups that you used to have as a kid that you rinse your mouth out with, a fair amount, full to the brim with this clear liquid.
This doesn't sound.
And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's got to be water, so this will be fine." So I just throw it back. It's not. It's terrible. Everything inside of me is screaming immediately. And I just looked at him as I did. I'm like, "Okay,
yeah,
great."
At what point would I be giving out?
That's a you mistake.
Yeah. At what point would be giving out shots of water? When have I ever given out shots of water? No.
I don't know, man. I don't know your whole history.
Oh, come on. I'm the biggest
that's
enabler.
On you.
Yeah,
absolutely on you.
So listen, so Dan lights up the party that night. For one, he just won a chug. All right, he's feeling good. He voluntarily took a shot of the White Lightning, messed him up, I guess, because at one point I'm sitting over here just standing there. I look over, no music on, and Dan's just dancing by himself, just vibing, just getting it.
Had to have been music.
And then
if there wasn't music here, and I was hearing it.
And then at another
That's
point,
the power of the White Lightning.
At another point in time, he's practicing jump kicks. And listen, Dan's got a pretty fucking mean jump kick. I wouldn't want to be in a karate match with Dan. I'll tell you that much. So that's
Funny
how
story.
That's how
I
Dan
quit karate to play hockey.
See, that's how Dan became Danny Vibes. One shot of moonshine, the guy sets the party off right, and that's why he's here.
Way more than a shot, and that stuff like it burned the next day.
It was half a shot.
That sounds terrible.
It was a Dixie cup full of poison. I was poisoned, and I'm sticking to it.
Listen, Dan, don't you really think that drinking, that's what we're doing? We're poisoning our body to have a good time. Beer, but wine, it's poison.
I mean, I would say other than Cincy and Omaha, were the outliers. Like, I'm usually not really drinking as much as the other guys, and you decided that was unacceptable.
Well, hey, it was unacceptable.
Well, maybe Randy decided, but
we had a good time. You became Danny Vibe.
I had a blast.
I mean, Danny Vibes was born that night, and I can't wait to meet Danny Vibes again at the next tournament. Well, we got Estero coming up, and then we got Vegas, then we got Omaha, and then we got Ann Arbor. We're gonna see so much Danny Vibes, and if you've never seen Danny Vibes, I'm not even saying if you've never come to a draft experience, don't even come for the draft experience. Come for Danny Vibes, and stay for the draft experience. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Sounds like you might not have met Danny Vibes, so how do you know if he's?
I met Danny Vibes
just from what I've told.
Yeah, he was. Hey, he was a party, and that's why he's on the show. And plus, the nipple story is about Danny Vibes. He'll be referred to as Captain Dan in that story. Danny Vibes, Captain Dan, alter egos. So that's why Danny Vibes here. So Dan, thanks for joining us to talk about the nipple story and Danny Vibes. And Dan also has a ton of knowledge in hockey gear because he does work not full time, but he works in the hockey industry with equipment and stuff. So glad to have you on board.
It's fun, and discounts never hurt.
Hey, listen, I have a nice helmet. Dan got me at a discount. I haven't worn it, but I got it. And I'm pretty stoked about it.
Whoa, you haven't worn it?
Well, yikes.
I mean, I have my lucky helmet that I wore all summer. It's lucky. It's got tons of luck in it. And so I haven't.
Didn't give us a lot of luck in, South Carolina.
Well, to be honest with you, Dan, yeah, it did for me. It's for me. It's not a team guy. It's a me. It's a me thing.
This is a personal game for him.
It's a me thing. So.
Oh, I know.
Lots of things going on in our world, the world. The big one I want to talk about. We didn't discuss this in our pre-recording roundup, but vaccines are here. I'm pretty super stoked. I'm not saying everyone has to get them. Get it if you want it, but it's nice to know that it seems like there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And what I want to ask you guys is, what is one thing that you are looking forward to once everything and the restrictions are lifted? What's one thing you're looking forward to? What's one thing you might have learned during this lockdown? And what's one thing that happened to you during the lockdown that you might want to kind of stay around for a while? I'll go with you first, Dangle.
Great. The one thing that I'm looking forward to is like kind of sappy, but seeing my family. They're all still in Canada and I'm in the States, so it's really difficult for me to get over there and see them, and that's unusual for me. So that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to. And I am kind of ashamed to admit it, but I did jump aboard the sourdough bread train during quarantine. So now I can make a pretty good loaf of sourdough bread, which isn't the
Jenna
worst
Fisher would be
skill to
proud.
have. She would be. I would be honored if Jenna Fisher would acknowledge me in any way, shape, or form, but
Let's
never
work on
gonna
that.
happen.
We work on that.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Hey, because the whole reason I ever started podcasting is so I could interview Chipper Jones, my hero. And he hasn't acknowledged me yet. He's actually blown me off a few times when I've seen him in person. I'm still pretty angry. I almost swore him off. I almost said, fuck Chipper. But I kept going back to him. But that's my one thing. Like, I just want Chipper Jones to acknowledge me. Come on the podcast. Let's talk some baseball and some hitting and all that good stuff. Deer hunting, maybe? I don't know. Dan, how about you, buddy?
I mean, pre-pandemic, I'm usually very just go. Like especially in the springtime, it's work early, coaching track. If I'm working at the hockey shop, I'm doing that. Not to mention, on top of my own games, multiple leagues, and COVID came around and all that it was gone. And I struggled with a long time just on what to do with myself. I think I still a little bit to, so I'm looking forward to maybe getting some aspect of not necessarily being busy, but able to do the things that I love to do, seeing the people I love to see, like Trish said, family. Like, I think I've seen my mom twice since my birthday in March. I've seen my dad a little bit more, but he's a little bit more, solo than she is. Based on that, he's also a little bit, in terms of if he's going to contract it, he'll be slightly better off than she will.
Gotcha.
But something that I wouldn't mind sticking around, I don't want to say I've always been a homebody, but it's really nice to not have the pressure of people like, hey, come out and do this and do that. Like, I can just spend time with Melissa at home. We can watch a movie or, have a stay-at-home date night, stuff like that. It's just, quality time at home instead of me constantly being go. So I think when this is over, maybe I'll strike a balance.
That's hard. I keep saying I'm going to do that too, but there's not really, like, I usually do a lot of work. Even now, old Dan knows about old Virgil inside the head.
Oh, he doesn't stop.
But for me, it's definitely hockey. Like just even like this past, like what our last tournament was October 10th, 11th, 12th or something, 11th through 13th. And like I haven't played hockey since then. So definitely ready to get back to playing some hockey and doing that kind of stuff. One thing that I want to kind of stick around is, listen, before the pandemic, every tournament that I went to, I got sick. I caught a cold. I did something, and I don't know if it's just because I run around so much during the tournament that I tire myself out. I stay up too late, or I don't know. I just got sick every time. I'd come home from a tournament on Monday, and I'd be sick for 2 or 3 days, and then Thursday I'd be off. Like, I just have a cold. And the tournaments that we did in the summer, the whole time, I didn't get sick one time. I haven't been sick since like January, probably. And so maybe it's wearing the mask or not drinking from other people's water bottles on the bench. I don't know, but I want that to stick around. I don't like having a cold every time. And also, I mean, let's be honest, like, the draft parties weren't the same as they usually were because like I didn't stay up till 3 a.m, pounding drinks with folks because it just wasn't that thing. Like, we weren't that close. We weren't out at bars. We weren't doing that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying I don't want to party hard at the draft. I'm just saying I just don't want to get sick every time. So that's what I hope sticks around for sure. For sure. So, all right. What's on the agenda today, Miss Dangle? Mrs. Dangle? Miss Dangle?
Well, first thing is that I need to hear more about why on God's green earth you got snakeskin gloves.
Oh, the most beautiful gloves in the world, you mean? After the BLPA gloves?
I don't know if anyone would call them that, but absolutely.
I think everyone. And listen, those
Definitely
gloves
not.
are special. All right. And there's a reason why I got. It's not like I just woke up one morning and said, I want snakeskin gloves. There's a reason. And there's a story. I'm going to tell this story, but like, I can only tell it once. I can never tell it again. Everyone that's listening has to forget that I said it because it could get me in some serious shit, some deep doo-doo hey, more shit talk. Look at that.
Oh, good. Already.
Once I got crowned Mr. Beer League by Jason at Pacific Rink on one of his podcasts. I was contacted by, for a lack of better terms, the hockey naughty. You can't be called Mr. Beer League and not be in the hockey illuminati. So I'm telling you right now, it does exist, the hockey naughty. Don't tell anyone. This isn't going to get me killed, but we just can't keep talking. Can't tell you who's in it, but there's some fucking...
Sure it's not naughty hockey?
No, I can't. No, that's something else I'm in as well. But there's a bunch of high-powered people. I'm in it. I'm in the hockey naughty. I can't tell you who was in it, but here's basically why I got those gloves. Once I got in the hockey naughty, I told him, I said, hey, listen, now that I'm in this crew, I really need to get my hockey skills better. I need to be better. I need to have the best hands in beer league. That's my goal. I want to have sick hands. I don't have them. I see people like Beer League Beauty. I see people like Big Dad out there just dangling folk. That's what I want to do. And so they sent me to the Canadian Highlands, Lowland, whatever, the tribe that invented hockey, way up in the Canadian low. And I got talking. I said, hey, I want some hands. And they said, well, you've got to learn. You've got to learn from the master. You've got to learn from the stick handling master. And I said, okay, what do I have to do? And then you know where they sent me, Dan? Australia. They sent me out, which is weird because they don't even really play hockey in Australia. But
Are you boxing kangaroos?
They sent me over there, and I was out in the fucking desert. And this guy came in, and apparently he was part of this tribe. He moved over to Australia because he just got tired of the cold, right? But he trains people in how to have the best hands. And here's what happened, Dan. I said, listen, supreme stick handling man, I want to have the sickest hands ever. He said, do everything that I'm going to tell you to do, and you'll have the sickest hands. I said, okay. So he took me out, and there was just this little wicker basket, straw wicker basket. And he lifted it up. And you know what was in there, Dan? A snake. And he said, here's what you have to do. Your hands have to get real quick, real smooth. So you have to hold your hand out there and then pull it away whenever a snake's going to try to bite you. And I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, I've got sick hands. Is this not what you want? So I did it, and I got really fucking fast, Dan, really fast. And then he said, okay, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put the snake's mouth right there, and then you have to pull it away before the snake eats it. And I was like, this doesn't sound smart. Like, who wants to get in the middle of a snake and its food? And he said, do you want to have sick fucking hands? And I said, yeah, I do. So I did it, and I got really fucking fast, really fast. And then finally he said, this is the last thing. Your hands are so fast now, Nick, so fast. You have to catch the snake and break its fucking neck. And I said, okay.
Oh, wow.
And so I caught it, and I broke its neck. And he said, okay, now lay this snake out on this rock, this hot rock, and then bend its head at 90 degrees. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And then once we did that, we let it dry until the snake was hard. And then you know what it looked like? A hockey stick. And he said, to have the sickest hands ever, now you have to go bar down with this hockey stick snake. I said, all right. First game, boom, bar down. So I got to keep the snake. And I said, well, listen, I can't just be rolling around playing hockey with a stick that's made out of a snake. So I called up my Eagle rep, and I said, listen, I have so many pairs of gloves here. Can you do something special for me? And they said, what? And I said, I have this snake that I killed that gave me the power to have the sickest, the most deadliest hands in beer league. Can you make them into hockey gloves? There you go. So now I have literally the most dangerous hands in beer league. That's the story.
That's an incredibly believable story.
Yeah, why would I lie about it?
There's no need to fact check that.
No.
Nothing's going to get flagged on Facebook or Twitter. You'll be fine.
No,
all that's good.
Have you ever
no fake news here.
Have you ever heard about the hockey naughty? Go try to find it. You won't, because we're so secretive. All right? You're not going to find any facts.
Definitely not because it's fake.
Hey, if you don't want to believe
it's definitely something that exists. It's
not something absolutely that real.
Came up with at all.
If you don't want to believe this, then that's fine. You don't have to have sick hands like I have now. All right? You just have
the thing is, I don't really want to believe it, because then that means I have to believe in your snakeskin gloves, and I just can't put myself through that.
Well, listen, I made you a believer last week about the best wings in Buffalo with Buffalo Wild Wings. So here's what I do.
No, you absolutely didn't.
Absolutely not. They are terrible. They were made in Ohio. That whole franchise deserves to die.
If they were made in Ohio, Dan,
I saw you.
Go ahead.
I saw you shaking your head when he mentioned ranch. You're a blue cheese guy, right?
He's from Buffalo.
Okay,
Of
so
course, he's trash. I'm just joking. I love
No,
the Bills.
see?
Bills
You
Matthew.
watch your mouth.
That's just rude. Here's the way it works. You know, I'm from the Northeast. I'm from Buffalo. We have really good blue cheese here. Do you know what we don't have? Good ranch. It's all shit. It's Ken's. It's garbage. I don't want it. It doesn't taste good. But if you start going south, you know, like even southern tier of New York, like I went to college down there, homemade ranch is delicious.
Yeah, it is.
But
100%.
but that's going to be your issue. Like, where do you get good blue cheese besides here? Because it really doesn't seem to exist.
Dan, I had the blue cheese.
It's been very rare that I found decent blue cheese outside of Western New York.
Listen, you
That's a
made
good
me
point.
taste
I've had
it.
some good blue cheese here in the Midwest.
See, and that's good because, I mean, ideally, if the wing's good, you don't necessarily need to dip it in anything. Like, it should enhance the flavor. You have to dip everything from Buffalo Wild Wings because it tastes like shit.
Hey, listen, man, they're palm
Like,
garlic.
if COVID gave you the shits, it'd be Buffalo Wild Wings.
the Chipotle barbecue.
And I believe we went to Wild Wings in Omaha, and I tried so hard for you, man, and it was terrible.
Oh, so good. Hey, you get the
It was
barbecue
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
It was trash, absolute trash.
Hey, listen, is it trash compared to Bar
And I
Bill?
took you to the Bar Bill. Don't
Yeah.
even try to act like that place wasn't better than Wild Wings.
No, did I say it wasn't?
No, he did say that was really good.
Yeah, Bar Bill is
we only have
good.
the Sicilian wings, but they are very good.
Yeah, they were incredible. I'm not trying to say that there's no good wings out there.
See, you recorded that, so now we know that you believe that that's incredible and better than Buffalo Wild Wings.
I didn't say that. I said I like Bar Bill. Well, I should, but I'm not going to go on record. But anyway, so listen.
That's like saying Little Caesars is better than anywhere else.
Well, Little Caesars is better than Domino's for sure, 100%.
When's the last time you had Domino's?
I'm never having Domino's again. They're trash.
Now, first of all, like Western New York just doesn't like franchises don't live here because their local places are very good.
Mm-hmm.
But Domino's, since they changed everything, I don't know, a couple years ago, they're not bad.
They're not bad.
They're
love
better than
like
Little Caesars.
the garlic butter on the crust is like.
Listen.
Oh, it's fantastic. Their
yeah.
cheesy bread is wonderful.
Oh, hey, and you're gonna throw shots right now at fucking Crazy Bread. You're fucking crazy if you do, because Crazy Bread
is also delicious.
You're also someone who thinks that the breadsticks from Pizza Hut is better than the cheesy breadsticks, which just doesn't make any sense.
100%. But hey, if you think that
do you know how they say you can't out Pizza the Hut? Well, Western New York did because we closed every 30 locations here, bud. Because it's trash.
And now you're trying to make a point that Buffalo isn't trash. They can't even have the best breadsticks and fast food pizza from Pizza Hut? Come on, bud.
Because unless there's cheese on them, they're dry and terrible.
No, they're incredible.
Okay, before this turns into an actual fight.
Yo, it is now.
We're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna put a pin in this and move on to another hot take from Nick. Something that started almost an entire riot on the Facebook group. Your opinion on Canada's beloved TV show Letterkenny?
Oh, do you mean Trailer Park Boys? That's better.
Hey, listen.
I'm not going to argue that. No one's saying that Trailer Park Boys isn't phenomenal.
100%.
Unless Nick also hates that because he hates a lot of great things.
Listen, 100%.
You're not wrong.
100%. These are not hot takes. These are stone cold facts. All right. And Letterkenny is trash. It's not funny. It's the same thing.
Have you watched all of it?
Yes. It's the same thing over and the first couple episodes. Sure. Haha. Funny. But then after that, it was like, am I just watching the same episode over and over again? It's the same thing. The only good thing that happened after the first couple episodes is that chick's name was Tanis, and that's my wife's name. And I was like, oh, I didn't know anyone else was named Tanis. That's basically the only good thing left in Letterkenny after the first couple episodes. And I'm sorry. It's not like I'm not hating on Canadian culture because it's Canadian culture. I live in Canada. I love Canada. But that show is
Letterkenny Canadian culture?
Yeah, that's what here's the deal. It's Canadian culture, but what Americans don't understand is it's Canadians making fun of Americans and making Americans like it. It's nuts. Like, Americans are being made fun of and they think it's hilarious. Dummies.
I mean,
you got really heated.
I kind of agree. Like, I don't think Letterkenny is very good. And like, I tried to like it because, you know, it
because
like
you're an intelligent person.
You're supposed to like Letterkenny. And I like the hockey guys are funny, you know, when it's related to hockey, but outside of that, they're idiots, and we'll get back to them later. But Letterkenny itself is just, it's garbage. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, why is Letterkenny not good? Why can they not, like, they just choose not to speak well? And I think it's because the whole show seems to have turned into, they're just fighting other hillbillies from other areas, so they're all just idiots.
Yeah, and I'm from
Like
Oklahoma,
they're
and that
just
happens
giving
all
each
the
other
time.
brain damage, and then allegedly, like, come on, it's just not good.
Yeah, and you know,
It's simple humor.
yeah,
It
for
is,
simpletons.
but it's
so if
not.
you like Letterkenny,
It's
you're a
simple,
simpleton.
It's not humor.
Exactly.
That's offensive. I like Letterkenny,
Yeah.
and I'm not a simpleton, but I do appreciate it as like basic, simple humor.
you know what?
I don't need to turn my brain on. I can just sit and watch that.
Let me tell you,
When I
it's
think of like
simply
basic,
not
simple
funny.
humor, I think of like the IT crowd or some British, dry humor.
No British
Not
dry
Letterkenny.
humor is simple.
Yeah, I mean it
No.
kind of is.
So the IT crowd is phenomenal, but it's not like
Turn it off and on again.
simple
That's
humor.
pretty simple.
Hey, 100% Trish Dangle, you like the UK Office better than the regular Office, don't you?
No.
Okay, just
Oh,
making sure.
we
I'm
were
not
gonna have
that
a
girl, I'm
fight
so
because
sorry.
I tried
No,
to
no.
like the UK Office and I just couldn't do it.
Okay, and here's
No, I didn't get into
I
it.
do need to throw out a disclaimer because the guys that created Letterkenny, I can't bag on, like, this is not a shot at them because they are my bros, all right? They're my bros in Flames fandom, all right? They're huge Flames fans. I love that
Too
about
bad.
them. But as I said, the show is simply not funny. But you know what? If you like it, you're the lowest common denominator, and that's fine. It's fine to be a part of that group. Me personally, I'm a fan of the finer things in life, and my
Like Little
intelligence, my
Buffalo
intelligence
Wild Wings.
and
Pizza
sophistication
Hut?
is above Letterkenny. That's just it. And if you like it, hey, good for you, right? But it's not funny. All right, it's just not. And
I think you're being a yum yucker right now.
I don't even know what that means. That's like
I don't think I've heard that term.
That's like when I went to Philadelphia and they started calling people crumb bums, and I'm like, what does that mean? Okay, so
That I haven't heard.
so
But you're just like, you're yucking people's yums. People like Letterkenny, let them like it.
did I not just say that? Did I not just say if you like it, that's cool?
Oh, if you like it, you're the lowest common denominator, but that's fine.
Okay, I'm just lumping them into the group they want to be a part of.
Insulting.
Like, what do you? I don't understand.
Insulting.
I
I'm
bet
not
Big
trying
Dick
to.
likes Letterkenny.
Who? Big Dad?
Big
Yeah,
Dad.
lowest common denominator. Drain the
Yeah.
swamp. That's him.
So rude.
But
So
anyway,
rude.
I
One thing that Letterkenny did do is bring a ton of that like hockey lingo into the beer league hockey space with guys that like did not grow up playing.
That's
weren't
part
in
of the
mix.
problem. It's only 10% hockey, so don't make it out like it's a hockey show. And now,
No, I'm not saying it's a hockey show.
It'd be
am
better
saying
if it was.
if we could make
Let's
a
be honest
100,
here. Like the funny moments are when that's going on.
if we could make a 100% hockey show and mix in,
They've
and
tried. It's
I know
the
there was
biggest
like
issue is like how do you find
Benders was
someone
one.
who can act but also not suck at hockey without paying a bunch of stunt doubles to play?
There was another show that was trying to get off, and I remember when I was doing the other one, I reached out to him and said, "Hey,
It was about beer league, right?
yeah,"
It was
and I was
terrible.
like, let me help you. Like, let me listen. I do this for a living. I'm in it full time, and they were just like, "Oh no, we're good." And I'm like, "No, you're not. I'm watching your show. It's not good, Benders. Sorry."
No, they very much tried to be like the league, like
Yeah,
a group of
yeah.
buddies making
Yeah.
a show, but they just were really bad at it.
They were really bad. And like the
really
premise
bad. Because I remember
was
seeing it
great.
like, oh, this could be great. And then you're sitting there just waiting and like, oh, well, maybe that was just a pilot. Pilots are usually a little rough. And like, well,
Mhm.
maybe they had these first few episodes ready. No, it's just bad. It's just terrible.
It's horrible.
Mhm.
I mean, I felt that one when that guy got so drunk after a game that he peed in his plant on the first episode. That hit me. I felt it, and I thought, okay. But then after that, it just went all downhill, just like Benders. They're bad. So, all right. So listen, and like I said, this isn't me just throwing out hot takes for hot takes. That's not me. This is just my opinion. 100% stone cold fact. Letterkenny is not any good. Sorry.
Not a fact, your opinion, which is fine.
Which
And
is
you decided
basically
to
a
air
fact.
it in
me.
a group of people who obviously love the show.
Oh,
Stir in the
I mean,
pot. You are the
simpletons.
most
Never stirs the
controversial.
pot.
man.
He's not a cook. He's not sitting there just,
Simpletons.
mortar and pen is still at home. Just I threw that out there. Let's see what happens.
And you see where I come from, simpletons, and just thinking the same thing is funny over and over again. Like I start a simple joke about ranch versus blue cheese. Ha 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 ha. And then it gets ran right into the ground, and people still think it's funny. And I mean, it's funny because all the blue cheese folks are wrong. That's funny, but that's how I know that these guys would like Letterkenny, because it's over and over again. And for me, it's basically the ranch and blue cheese is basically a Letterkenny episode. It just keeps going and going and going, and it's the same. So
My favorite thing about your argument there is that you repeated that comment on every one of those posts as if it wasn't you repeating the same thing over and over and over again, thinking it was funny.
Yeah. Do you not see what I was getting at? Do you not see what, like, if they think that's funny, then I'm just
you're the upper echelon of humor.
Exactly.
But the issue is that, like, they don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh,
don't.
that's, and I'm just like, okay, if they think just repeating stuff over and over and over again is funny, I'm going to repeat stuff over and over and over again until eventually, like Letterkenny, it'll be canceled. I don't know.
Ooh.
Next.
You're just creating more and more fans for yourself.
Hey, listen, here's the deal with me. Like, I don't care if you have a different opinion than me. That's fine. I'm an adult. I don't have to have everyone agree with me. I'm not going to not be your friend because you disagree with me. This isn't the United States politics where if you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican that I have to hate you. This is opinions, right? If people agree with me, like Dan, look at Dan. Dan's a smart guy, obviously highly educated, probably went to college, I would assume, from his opinion, and probably made pretty damn good grades, I would imagine.
We'll never know.
Because of his opinion. Well, I'm just going to say that's probably what happened. And so, if you didn't go to college and you didn't make good grades, you probably like Letterkenny. That's a bit of a stretch, but it is funny.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but
wow.
I mean, to the point of, yes, people love the ranch versus blue cheese, but it's partially because of that I met Nick.
What?
Because you had said something somewhere else, like over a year ago, and I went to my first tournament and met Nick. Partially because I signed up maybe this will happen, maybe it won't, and then it did, and I got there, and I just wanted to chirp Nick about liking ranch and not blue cheese because I thought he was an idiot. And look at us now.
Hey, and that's your opinion. That's not fact. Well, hey, listen, and here we are. Just how many years later? Just keeping it going. But you know what, Dan? I respect that you like blue cheese. I tried it out of my respect and love for you. I went to Bar Bill. I tried it.
Liked it.
I didn't.
I'd love you to repeat that, Nick. Did you like the blue cheese?
I didn't.
He
hate
liked
it.
Homemade blue cheese.
I didn't hate it.
Not the crap you can buy. Not the stuff from Kraft. That's garbage.
Oh, let's not talk about
homemade blue cheese.
Homemade blue cheese was not horrible, but I would definitely not choose it over ranch. But I wouldn't say that it was trash. I would say okay, yeah. I mean, it was decent, but it wasn't my cup of tea when it comes to, hey, do I want ranch or blue cheese? And I would hope that how I've basically become a Buffalonian. I'm in the Bills Mafia now. I'm wanting to jump through tables to see our boy Jake Allen.
Wait. You got something coming, bud.
Okay, you didn't get the
You're going to love
it. Because of my boy, the quarterback. That's my quarterback, And I trash on the Sabres. I'm basically a Buffalonian. That's what they do. All right?
Damn straight, he fits in.
Checking all the boxes.
And so I would hope that because I've now assimilated into their culture and I've taken up some of their cultural norms, that they would afford me the respect to be just a little bit different sometimes. And that difference is I fucking love ranch.
Hey, Buffalo's a melting pot, man. We accept people from all communities.
It sounds like you don't, because you're already trying to kick me out for trying to out Pizza the Hut.
I'm very sorry that we out Pizza the Hut. They couldn't last year. They got destroyed. And Pizza Hut was like, I guess we're out. We can't beat Buffalo. And you can't.
All right, listen, I'm on keto right now, and all this talk about pizza is really pissing me off. So let's move right fucking along.
All right, let's talk about a hockey series that, fingers crossed, won't tank, the new Mighty Ducks series. I have so many thoughts.
No, I hope it tanks. It's bullshit. It is terrible.
Hey, tell me more. Tell me why you think that.
First of all, why the fuck is one of the Letterkenny morons coaching the Ducks?
Mm-hmm.
What, we got 2 seconds of him, and he's already being an asshole? I mean, that's just wonderful.
To be 100% honest, the original coach of the Ducks was an asshole too. He was a drunk driving lawyer prick. So,
but that brings me to another point. Where is he? He's apparently some bum fixing his Zamboni. He has nothing to do with the organization that he created and has clearly become extremely successful. Let's not forget that he
new
was a very
Hans.
successful lawyer and businessman prior to being forced into coaching those kids, turning into a great person and coach after that, and now he just has nothing to do with it.
Well, maybe
bullshit.
Hey, maybe he's
Maybe that's
independently
explained
wealthy.
in this series. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's
With
independently
what? The
wealthy.
Gilmore Girls mom? Why does she exist?
Lauren Graham is wonderful.
Hey.
Don't even start with me.
Hey,
She
100%.
doesn't deserve to be involved with an actual Mighty Ducks.
No, listen,
show.
100%,
Mighty Ducks show.
100%. Gordon Bombay's nailing her in that series for sure.
Well, and that's
100%.
What happened to Charlie and his mom?
Hey, I think what I think happened. This is why I think
Jackson is far too famous to be in this.
you don't think Emilio Estevez
He's
is
like too Canadian famous.
Bombay's definitely going to bang Lorelai.
for
It's
sure,
gonna happen.
100%. And then
Where's
The
Charlie's
crossover we
mom?
didn't know
hey,
we
is
needed.
Gilmore Girls still a thing? Because maybe there could be a crossover. You know, we can get hockey into the mainstream. But here's what I think
don't know.
happened.
It's not.
I hope not. It's
Wow.
look, listen. Melissa loves it. It brings her joy. I tried. It's just you want to talk
It's
about a
not for
show that
everyone.
doesn't offer anything. It's that. There's nothing in it. I don't like. There's no jokes. I don't know what's going on. And just the fact that she has something on her resume to get her jobs, they have something to do with like one of the most cherished stories of most of our childhoods with the Mighty Ducks is just baffling to me.
Well, hey, you
She
know
needs
what?
to go away. Letterkenny needs to go away. Let's just like, all right. Did you guys see? It's a couple years old now. Like the SNL guys and the Anaheim Ducks did a commercial for the Knuckle Puck.
No, I did not see that.
No.
But now,
First of
now
all,
I'm gonna
you
have
need to
go
see
watch
it.
Okay, we're gonna go watch it.
It brings back the original cast members from the Mighty Ducks. Adam Banks. I already don't remember the Knuckle Puck kids. It's been a while.
Russ,
But like, you know, they're selling the
Russ-
Knuckle Puck
Russ
for all
is the
these
Knuckle
things.
Puck.
Like it's a coaster. It's
hey,
this.
was it
and
was
like,
it pre-drug or post-drug Goldberg?
oh, dude, we know Goldberg wasn't in that. He was definitely doing
Okay,
drugs
I just-
during
He
that.
was. Yeah, there were a
But
lot
hey,
of problems.
the
with him
cat's in
that
it.
time.
Okay.
She's talking about the Knuckle Puck. But like that looked better as a rip-off commercial. Because let's be honest, sports teams don't make good, funny commercials. They just don't. The Sharks try it every year. Everybody does. It's usually not very good because hockey players just can't act, and that's fine.
I don't know.
We don't need them to do that.
No, that's untrue. Because you know that one commercial like the ESPN where I can't remember who the goalie was, but he's sitting at dinner with his girl, and they bring him wine, and instead of drinking it, he pours it all over his face like he's in net. That was incredible acting. 100% believable.
Well, it's believable
See,
because
that's
he
not
did
acting.
it.
That's
not
just
acting. He
doing
just did it.
something. Yeah.
He just did it. Like
Yeah, he was
the only time a
acting like
hockey
he was-
player has done acting well was Nathan McKinnon in Trailer Park Boys, because that show should really be way above Letterkenny. But we moved past it. I'm just saying
Yeah,
a
of course
commercial that the Anaheim Ducks of all teams
Trash
made
team.
with the Saturday Night Live guys and original cast members from the real Mighty Ducks is better than a show being made by a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Okay.
Who
but
greenlit this? Because it's terrible.
can I ask
Hey,
you?
but we're in
who-
the age of nostalgia. That's what's making money. So
But they didn't
what are you going to
film
do?
the
They can
nostalgia
only
there is
reboot
Gordon
so many
Bombay,
things.
and let's be honest, he don't look great.
You just slapped. No, he doesn't have. Did you notice his weird 5 o'clock shadow mustache? That's like there but not,
Yeah, but it's just the mustache.
and it's
like,
very
what
Charlie
are we doing
Chaplin
here?
in the
Is it
middle.
because maybe Gordon Bombay is,
But it's not a
on the keto
mustache.
diet and gained a little bit of weight, and they need to kind of like draw that away from his fat face now?
Hey,
he
Hey,
is a little puffy.
don't
He's a
talk
little
about a
puffy.
national hero, Gordon Bombay. All right. You know what happened?
I love Gordon
He
Bombay, but I
probably-
think Disney's doing him dirty.
He probably became independently wealthy, and all he does now is toil around a rink working on Zambonis and cutting the ice because he doesn't need to work.
I mean,
And now he's trying to help this kid and
I'd
bang
be
his
fine with
mom. Like,
that.
what do you want? Like, that's the whole premise of the show. And then old Letterkenny Dick went ahead and said, hey, bring him back. Hey, it's not worth winning if you can't win big. You got to be good to play for me. And so Gordon's like, no, here's what's going to happen. You'll go get all your friends. They all suck. And we're going to go beat the Mighty Ducks. That's basically what's going to happen. That's the whole show. We don't have to watch it now. We know what happens.
I think it's going to be cute. I think it's going to be funny.
That's what we're
I
looking
think
for
it's
in a
not going to
hockey
hold
show.
do you
candle
think
to
it's
the
cute just
original
because the
one.
Letterkenny kid's in it?
No, I don't have any. No.
Isn't that?
I think he'll be funny. I think he's a good actor. He's also apparently a good hockey player.
Well, isn't he a Playfair?
That's just the hair.
I think his dad is
Just
Jim.
the hair.
I think his dad's Jim Playfair that coached for the Flames. I think that's still
Yeah.
in Playfair. Yeah, for sure. So maybe he is good at
But
hockey,
I don't know.
but
He
his
is
show's not
allegedly.
good.
I
That's
haven't
for
seen
sure.
him play, but
So are we?
Let's
So
get him to a
but
tournament.
I think
all
it's
right,
gonna
what
be
are we
funny.
giving? What are we giving it, Dan? Let's rate it. Let's pre-rate the Mighty Ducks show.
Trash. I don't
Okay.
know. Like, you want a
Trish,
number?
no, that's good. Trish, what's your
One to
rating?
trash is trash.
I'm gonna say cute. It's gonna be cute.
Trash.
It's gonna be a fun little romp.
2 trashes to 1 cute.
Wait,
Trash wins.
This isn't the Disney of the '90s where you get cute TV shows. Like, I mean, granted, it's Disney Plus. Like, they need to like appeal to kids. But if you're talking about the age of nostalgia, kids don't fucking know what Mighty Ducks are. They don't appreciate the way that
it's
we
not
used
for
to.
them.
Yeah,
It's not
Is
for
it
them.
for?
It's
I don't
for
want
us.
a cute Mighty Duck show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you're
It's
right,
for me,
Trish.
then.
Trish is right.
Specifically for me.
Trish is right. Dan's
Thank you.
right. Okay. Okay. It's going to be a cutesy show. It's not for the kids of today. It's for the people that grew up watching Mighty Ducks. But guess what? We don't want a cutesy Mighty Ducks. We want the fucking Bash Brothers
Which is
in
fine.
there banging bodies. That's what we want. We want Russ ripping the knuckle puck.
Let's not
I mean, that's
start.
maybe a little over sexualized, but
Oof.
all right.
What?
I mean,
What?
if it's nostalgia, like let's talk. All right, so the Mighty Ducks isn't for the kids; it's for us. Toy Story 3, I thought that was the same way when that originally came out. That was definitely for us, not for kids that were like just getting into Toy Story.
And it was
And that
phenomenal.
movie was it got pretty dark because it was
did,
for
yeah.
us and we could handle it. This show is clearly not going to do that.
Nope. Are you even going to watch it, Dan?
No, probably not.
Me neither.
We'll
I'll
see.
watch it for you.
All right, Trish. Hey, you give us a full
Honestly, it
review.
depends. Like, I don't think it'll
I
be a show
absolutely
where like The Mandalorian, where like, oh, it's Friday, I should watch The Mandalorian because it's out. Like, when it's all out, maybe I'll probably just binge it quick. The
Hey,
same way
you
that
know the
Letterkenny
only-
was severely disappointed in that.
The only way I'll watch it is if we're still in lockdown. It's the last thing on my list to watch in front of all
No,
the
we're getting
other
Tiger King
shows.
2.0.
Yeah, so that's it. Okay, moving on. Trish, be the moderator. Next topic, please.
I
She's doing a
do
great
have
job.
to throw out one more thing for the Mighty Ducks series.
Oh my
Don't
God.
hate me for like dragging this on. There was one line that really like stuck out to me in the trailer and really hit me in the feels. The one kid, one of the nerdy kids that's being asked to play on this ragtag team. I'm not an asset physically. I have more of a podcast body.
Yeah, that
And that really hit me.
I'm offended
That
as
made me
fuck
think
by
of
that.
Nick. I'm not gonna lie, I
Listen,
laughed my ass off.
Hey, I'm offended as fuck by that. To be honest, that's another reason. I can't believe I forgot. I tried to block it out because it's traumatic. That's why I'm not watching it, because they came right fucking at me. They looked me in my eyes and they came right at me. And I'm not gonna have
Do you
it.
have pictures
heard
from your
that
childhood? Can
kiddo
we
was
compare it
based
to
off
that young
of you.
man?
I look just like
Oh,
that kid.
I'll get a side by side going. We'll post it on the Instagram maybe.
Perfect.
Tweet it out.
Fuck the Mighty
Like and
Ducks
follow.
new series.
Yep. Exactly.
Fuck them.
Okay, we'll end on
Podcast
that
body.
beautiful note and move on to this nipple story that I keep hearing about, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, tell us about your nipples.
Deep
Okay.
breath, Dan. Deep breath.
Okay, hold on. I'm
It
gonna
was
pull
a
it up.
traumatic experience, all right?
All right, here we go. I'm playing it. Here we go.
Mike Cinta out here in Buffalo, just waiting for my rink to open. Heard you guys are looking for some goalie stories, so I figured I'd got some time, share a few. So Captain Dan asked me to put this out there.
Oh, Captain Dan.
Injuries are a big part of all of sports, especially beer league sports. Beer league hockey kind of just bounce back from it, not like other sports where, an injury might take you out for a while. It's always in hockey, well, how many weeks till you're back? So this isn't an injury story of mine. This is an injury story of Captain Dan's. Captain Dan, most of you know him, Dan Langendorfer. We just call him Captain Dan around here. Solid guy, good defenseman,
Wrong.
gorgeous eyes. I digress. He is a defenseman on my team usually. This season we're playing against each other. But this is from a few years back when he was on my team, unfortunately for him. So one thing about me, I'm probably a solid 2 out of 10 for goaltending. But, it's fun. Get to go out there, have a good time. Captain Dan's playing defense for me, thank God, because need a solid guy up there. One thing about me in my game is I have a semi-decent poke check, but my poke check's a full commit situation. So a lot of times if the guy's crossing my body, I'm sprawled out, I get a big piece of the puck, and a lot of times end up taking out legs too. It's kind of one of those things that happens. So in this particular game, we're playing a very good team, much higher skill level than us. Probably shouldn't have even been in the same league as them. But Captain Dan does Captain Dan's job, and he presses the guy outside. Guy walks below the dot, ends up coming across my body. Big dude. I'm not real big, 5'8", $180. This guy's got to be 6'2", 6'3", 220, 240, somewhere in that range. As he's walking across my body, I come out and poke. Captain Dan, unfortunately, is right behind him. So as I come out and poke, he flips over me. I follow the play, look into the left. This guy pops right up, shoots the puck clean out of play. Starts pointing at Captain Dan. Dan's sitting over there. He's got the picture to show you. He's just gushing blood all out of his chest. Whole jersey's cut straight across. Guy's feet came up and caught him. Captain Dan, real trooper, goes right in the locker room, wraps himself up with tape, back out there for the next shift. Didn't miss a beat.
Look at old Captain Dan. Hey, thanks, Mike, for the story, for one. Captain Dan, tell us a little bit. Basically, what I'm getting is Mike says he's a low-level goalie, but he has one hell of a poke check, sounds like.
It's brutal.
The only sounds like the only negative to this strong poke check is he's usually taking out legs. When he's doing it, he took out your legs, you went sprawling and cut your chest. Now, we did say nipple because that's how it was kind of reference to me, is that Dan almost cut his nipple off. And so tell us a little bit about the injury, bud.
Well, if you want to see the scars, maybe a millimeter down, nipple's gone. It's just very terrifying. First of all, Mike's lying about his skill. Like, he's very humble. He's actually going to be our goalie for the Columbus BLPA Bash. Sign up if you haven't.
Ringers division.
No, hell no. At the time this story had happened, I would have put Mike probably like an 8 out of 10 at goalie. Very good, very solid. And because of that, we always had this deal. I would sub for him if he would sub for me. It's just kind of the way it always worked. So if he asked, I can't say no. If I asked, he can't say no. Also, Mike and other goalies in Buffalo, don't bitch about paying for their league fees. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I have 18 goalies I can call. Maybe it's just the area, but like, he doesn't complain. He shows up, he does his dues. But Mike is right. Like, his big thing, and this is, I kind of told him to do it more for the, the goalie grind my gears or grinds my goalie, Nick, what you were asking for. And it's, do not come near that man's crease because that stick's coming. And like, I've told teammates if I'm playing against him, they're like, oh, what do you know about him? I was like, don't go near the crease because he's going to destroy you. They never listen.
Nope.
So people always get mad about it. And like, he's just defending his crease the way that he knows how. And like, his poke check is very good and very accurate. At the time, the team we were on, well, he was on, I was subbing, was not good. But like I said, like, we had a deal. I don't say no. He doesn't say no. We're playing the best team. And to be fair, this league didn't have divisions. So like, you had 2 teams that were destroying literally everybody else. It just wasn't fair. And I knew a couple guys on their team I played with and against them. They're all very, very good. Like, think Big Dad, but better, way better. Like Big Dad, maybe if he tried on a regular basis and kept at it, like, just extremely talented. And like, they're very, like, they're not dicks about it, but they're also not apologetic. Like, they're going to play the way they want to play. And like, this guy's coming in, and like Mike said, like, I take him out wide. Like, I've got him like past the red line, past the goal line. I'm like, perfect. He's going to swing around. I'll go and meet him. So I go to turn to do that because I don't know where the hell my defensive partner is, because whoever does. And well, I don't see him. So I turn back around and I see him cutting back in because he's just that good of a skater. Mike pokes him. I feel a big like slap on my chest. The guy's on the ground, and I'm just like, I'm just looking at Mike like, what the fuck just happened? And just out of the corner of my eye, I see my jersey just flop down. I'm like, oh, what's that? So like, I stick my hand in there, and it comes out just covered in blood. Just like, and I can just tell him like, oh shit, this is bad. So I show the ref, knock to the ref, and he just looks at me and shrugs. The puck's still in play, and I'm like, I look like, are you fucking kidding me? And like Mike says, the guy sees like the player that had hit me with the skates, got up, saw the puck, ripped it right out of the rink so that I could like get off the ice because the ref clearly didn't care.
Good guy.
So
Wow.
Mike gives me a little bit of credit, like the next shift. No. So like, Melissa's in the stands. I call her down. She doesn't know what's going on. And like, I show her, she's freaking out. I'm like, it's fine, whatever, because I have adrenaline going. So, you get adrenaline, but you can't feel anything. I walk out to the lobby because I need a first aid kit now. And like, I'm bleeding, my hand's covered in it, my jersey's soaked in it, and they're just like, oh my God, do you need the hospital? I was like, no, I need like a first aid kit, like, give me something. And they're like, well, I was like, just give me whatever the fuck you have. So they give it to me, I go into the locker room, and I'm trying to get it to stop, because, like, in that, like, the casual players don't necessarily know that like you have 2 edges on your skates. So I didn't have 1 cut, but I had 2. And like, let's be honest, like your chest skin isn't very thick. It's gonna bleed, and it's bleeding pretty good. I eventually get it to stop, not with tape, not with gauze, because the first aid kit had Band-Aids, disinfected wipes, and Neosporin. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's just literally the worst first. Like, great, if I have like a paper cut, this is wonderful. Like, I'm set.
Yeah.
Actually, probably not, because this, like, who knows these days. I clogged it with Neosporin. Like, used the whole tube, got lather at my chest, really caked it on there, and then got back out there for the third period. This happened in the first. I took the second period to get it to stop bleeding. Got out there, got our only point of the game, which I guess was nice.
Humble brag.
Game ends, like I need to rush because that was my ice hockey game for the night. I had a roller hockey game 40 minutes later, half an hour away. And Melissa's like, oh, you shouldn't go. I was like, no, it'll be fine. Adrenaline's still going. I'm feeling good. So I head to the rink. She heads to the pharmacy, grabs all kinds of medical supplies and, things from my blood sugar. She's probably assuming that it's low. And I'm thinking it's fine. And I get one shift into my roller hockey game, sit down on the bench and passed out for the rest of it. So I still have my nipples. Thank God, because that was a concern. Like, if there was so much blood at first, I couldn't tell if it was there or not. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Like, you weren't okay. You didn't know your nipple was there, but you're like, I'm just gonna keep playing. Like, if you lose your nipple, like, isn't it like, maybe I should go get this looked at?
What are you gonna do about it?
Like,
well, Trish, let me. If you lost your nipple,
if your nipple's gone, it's gone, right?
Yeah, but if you lost your nipple,
I'd be a little more upset about that, but I think I have reason to be upset. That's a functional part of my body.
You don't think my nipples are functional?
I was more upset that the ref just didn't stop the play.
Well, okay, that's
ridiculous.
I'm just leaking fluids from my body, and he just doesn't give a shit.
Refs don't care at that late a game, but hey, props.
Okay, but I can see don't care about icing, but if somebody's bleeding that much, maybe blow the whistle.
Well, hey, I'm glad you still have your nipples, bud.
You and me both, man. I don't know what I'd do without them.
And so, hey, and I like the little humble brag. Hey, listen, guys, I almost lost my nipple, but I got the only point of the game. So, in your face.
Yeah, to be fair, we lost 11-1.
So, yeah. So, but hey, you got the only point.
Hey, that's not much of a brag.
It wasn't a shutout, and that's because of you.
Yeah. For sure.
Sure. I'll take it.
So I'm glad you still have your nipples. I'm moving right along.
All right, Nick, I know you really wanted to talk about your favorite hockey player on planet Earth, your idol.
Jerome McGinley.
The one you look up to.
Guy who beat the Flames.
Jerome McGinley. That puck
Wayne
was
Gretzky,
not in.
Obviously. Your absolute favorite, and his rookie card being sold for just some pocket change.
Hey, more power to anyone that has a card for $1.3 million, right? Wasn't that what it is? 1.3 million?
1.3, yeah.
$1.3 million for a card. It's a record, and go figure it's Wayne Gretzky. But here's what I think.
For a piece of cardboard.
Here's what I think.
Yep.
Wayne Gretzky is the biggest scumbag in the NHL. So big of a scumbag that he probably bought this card himself just to say, hey, look at me. I got another fucking record. 100%. Did they reveal who
another hot take?
It's not a hot take. This is probably facts. This one's probably facts.
Is it that hot? Let's be honest.
Is he a scumbag?
$1.3 million on a fucking hockey card.
Did it say who the buyer was?
People out there that really take. That's a great question. I don't know.
Probably not, because he probably
have any Wayne Gretzky conspiracies.
Yeah, exactly. So. Because he probably said, "Hey, listen, I'll buy it for 1.3 mil." But
you know what he did? He probably bought it through somebody so that his name 100%. Can't be attached.
Yeah, that would be the smart move.
Because let's be honest, if you're spending $1.3 million on a card of any kind,
on your own hockey card,
yeah, let alone your own, you don't want your name attached to that. Like, no, I did not just spend $1.3 million on a piece of collectible cardboard.
Mm-hmm. On my
Some
own
people,
piece of collectible
that is their
cardboard.
Passion.
Yeah, his passion is collecting records because he's a scumbag.
His passion is records, apparently.
Yeah, scumbag. But no, that is crazy. Like, I don't know if Wayne bought it. Probably did. He is a scumbag. But and I've never met Wayne personally. This isn't a personal attack on Wayne Gretzky. It's just my view of him and his play. And I wasn't even a hockey fan when he was out, scumbagging the other teams in the NHL. But what I do know is that the most hated guy in beer league is the fucking guy that plays down 7 divisions and never lets up. And that's basically what Wayne Gretzky was in the NHL. That's why he's a scumbag.
Okay, but where is he supposed to play?
It doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? Like, where is he supposed to go? Like,
I
you're going to go to
that.
the NHL, you're going to get paid a ton of money.
I understand that,
turn
but when you got 8 points in a fucking game and it's the third period, you don't need that 9th fucking goal, Wayne. You don't need the Wayne trick.
He's getting paid, though. He's getting paid to do that.
He's getting paid.
Yeah, but
he
even a
scores
beer
that.
leaguer's going to pass
to
that.
be there.
Well, and he did have a lot of assists. I get that. But you know what I would do? If I was Wayne and I had that many points already, fucking dump and change. That's what I'd do. But no, I'm not a scumbag, though, so I don't think like that, I guess. That's just basic knowledge.
Differing opinions on this one.
I'm not
I
taking
think if you're getting paid, you do your job and you do it well.
I'm not. Hey, part of your job is being a good, respectable person and not being a dick to other folks. And that's what he was doing. But I'm not taking away from Wayne's skill. Obviously talented. Do I think he would put up 200 points in today's game? Not a fucking chance. But he didn't play.
Destroyed.
But he didn't play. He didn't play.
It's a different game now, though.
100%.
I think he said that himself. Then, like, people always ask, like, is Ovi going to hit the goal record? I would love to see Ovi hit the goal record,
100%.
but he's doing it in a much more difficult time. Goalies are so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Defensemen are so much better. Like,
yeah, and hey, that was
totally different.
Hey,
now.
that was the big conspiracy that Bettman was going to cancel this season, so it would make it harder for Ovi to break Gretzky's goal record. Did you hear that one?
See, and I think that's something he would totally do.
Wait, Bettman?
That
I think
is a Bettman move, 100%.
I think if he didn't have to like answer to the owners of, sorry, you guys aren't making money this year, which is something we should talk about anyway. He would definitely do that.
You think Bettman has that hardo against Ovi, like against Russians, and maybe he is best friends with Wayne. I don't know, but back to the Wayne. He was a great player. I'm not taking. I just think he was a scumbag. Anyone scores 200 points, scumbag. Big Dad scores all those points in draft experience, scumbag. And by the way,
to be fair, yeah, he does it.
Yeah,
but he does pass it. He dishes it out. He tries to get other people goals.
He didn't in that game in Nashville. Did not.
Did he not pass it to you? Is that why you're holding this over?
No, he was.
I heard there might have been a dare there.
Yeah. Ooh. It was trying to get him to quit being a dick. But if anyone doesn't know, Big Dad is our buddy. He's a pretty good hockey player, and he just when he tries, and sometimes he thinks he has a point to prove, and that's when he becomes scumbag dad. That's just the way it is.
He's not a player if he's on the other team that you want him to prove to you that he's good.
No.
Because chances are you're going to pay for it.
And listen, and I'm going to be 100% honest. We're buddies. I love Big Dad.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Kyle, by the way, but we call him Big Dad because that's what he named.
He's such a Kyle, though.
He named his player Big Dad in our NHL thing, so we just all call him Big Dad. He is a Kyle. But I'll tell you, if I could catch him, I'd put his fucking ass through the glass, 100%.
And that's the thing. 90% of these tournaments, he's not really skating.
Exactly. And I still can't catch him. But
we saw him skate once against another friend of ours just because it was against him. And, like, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I've been playing with Kyle for a year. I've never seen him skate anywhere near that fast.
He's got skills. And, like, if I could catch him, I would do some damage.
Makes me feel like such a terrible hockey player.
Well, you got to come to Dex and show us.
Yeah.
To show you how terrible of a hockey player I am? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, I can guarantee you won't be the worst one there.
And I can guarantee you that it doesn't matter if you are or not. You'll have the same amount of fun.
Yeah.
Unless you're skating against Big Dad and he's got a point to prove. 100%. then you're in another zone. But okay, so we've covered a lot today. We've covered a lot. Is there anything else on the docket? And docket is a very underused word.
There is. Do you want to bring that back? Do you want to elevate docket?
Yeah, what's on the docket today? So I'm going to start every podcast from now on out.
All right.
Welcome to the Grace. Very professional.
Yeah, really welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world.
It might not fit in here.
What's on the docket today? Okay.
Depends on what part of the show you're using it in.
I'm gonna
early on when people get like the illusion, like, oh, this is really well done.
Mm-hmm. And it's not. They don't know.
And then it devolved into this.
I mean, we talked about losing nipples, Wayne Gretzky being a scumbag, and we talked about how I went on a trip in the Hockey Naughty. So this isn't a professional show per se. We're not getting paid.
The desert of Australia, not the Outback though. You just skip the Outback for the actual dangerous part.
You know why? You know why you won't go to the Outback? Because no one in their right mind is going to live in the Outback unless you're Crocodile Dundee. And Crocodile Dundee didn't play hockey. So
you don't like Outback Steakhouse? I mean, you're such a fan of national chains. So
the Bloomin' Onion, the Bloomin' Onion's pretty good. I mean,
I was going to say he's probably a Bloomin' Onion fan.
I'd eat that for sure. Hey, that brown bread they give you, That's pretty damn good too.
Oh,
But I can't eat bread because I'm on keto.
that's sweet butter.
Yeah, see? Oh, look at Dan. Oh, there's fucking National Change are trash. That brown bread.
They are.
Except the
I
brown
can
bread.
take you to a place right now that's going to be better than that.
Well, no, you can't because I'm in Calgary and all the restaurants are shut. So, all right.
Well, whose fault is that, Nick?
Yeah, that sounds like a personal problem.
Well,
Well,
I didn't make
our
the call.
docket or our post-it note or whatever we're calling it at the end of the podcast is clean. So
We
bring
did
us
it.
home.
We cleared everything out of this on our list. Hey, Dan, what do you think about being on the show?
Oh, I loved it, man. I mean, we go at each other with random stuff all the time.
Dan
This
loves to talk.
This just puts a point to it.
I mean, this is basically shit we
mean,
talk about
Yes.
in the dressing room and the parking lot, which is basically what this Nick
Yeah.
and Co show / BLPA Big Show is about. I mean, we covered relevant topics. Wayne Gretzky card, gave our thoughts. We covered what happened in the BLPA. I don't think there's anything left to talk about this week, right? Other than buy our merch.
Well,
Lots of merch.
we could talk about
It's a new merch too.
people. We could talk about people subscribing,
They should subscribe.
following
They
us
should
on
do that.
Instagram, all that fun
100%.
stuff.
Well, especially
And
because you know they're missing
hear-
the locker room.
They're missing the locker room, so get that with us. And if we hit, what is it, 10K?
Okay,
subscribers
set it up by what you
and
actually
followers,
asked me first.
What are we gonna do?
You said what you asked me, Trish. You said, what's it going to take to get you in goalie gear and let people shoot at you? And I was like, I don't know.
At a tournament, full 5 games.
Just come out and shoot on
Ooh.
me, right?
Full 5
And I
games.
said, I don't know. It'll take a couple
That's an
thousand
escalation.
YouTube subscribers, and I'll get in the goalie gear and let people take some bombs at me. Okay, cool. But I'm getting.
He'll get in the goalie year. We'll get an extra hour of ice at one of the tournaments, maybe all of them this year.
Yep. And I'm
Get
getting
him in the pads
I'm
and
getting
just let everyone get a
100%
shot.
new pads, custom BLPA pads, custom blocker, custom glove. I'm gonna look fucking. Hey, if I'm gonna let people clap bomb at me, I'm gonna look fucking good while I'm taking them bombs for sure. And you know 100% what I'm gonna say after that. I'm never paying to play hockey again. Look at how much these pads cost. But
Man,
And then Nick will be a
Brought it
goalie in
back
every
around.
tournament there from thereafter,
I don't
and
think
everyone's
that. I
going to
don't
wish
think
that
that's.
he
I'll
wasn't
even
their
go.
goalie.
I'll even go as far as to say this. If we get 10,000 followers on our Instagram and YouTube, I'll fly somebody out to a tournament to let them go off, take claps from me from the hash marks. Just fucking bombs
I like
away.
that deal.
You want slap shots from the hash marks.
Hey, if that's what if they're
That's rough.
if they're gonna try to do warm up headshots,
So I know you're
let's
talking
go.
about like the pads. I think we need to talk about a very nice goalie helmet.
I
for you.
actually
Yeah,
have
yeah,
one.
exactly.
You're going to be brain dead.
Hey, I actually have a really good goalie mask. I
How
can't
old is it?
pronounce it. Haklava. Yeah, I have one of those. I have a hacky sack goalie helmet. It's being painted right now by a professional artist named Frank, and he's doing a little
Frank?
Yep, he's doing a little BLPA logo on one side, Chipper Jones
Frank's
on the
good
other. I know Chipper doesn't have anything to do with hockey, but it's a big part of my life. So
Hey, you love what you love.
and maybe a little Elvis action. I don't know. And so I do
That
have a
is-
nice
Better not
helmet.
wear
Elvis
that
action.
helmet.
Oh
You better
yeah,
not wear that
100%
helmet to
I'm
this
gonna
little
wear it.
challenge because
No.
it's gonna get scuffed.
It's going to
up.
get destroyed.
You know what's going to
man.
happen here?
I can't
Yeah.
hit top. I can't hit a top corner, but I can hit your helmet.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm
I'll
gonna
train for that.
I'm gonna fucking snap somebody off, fucking right in the glove. I'm gonna fucking windmill like you've never fucking seen before. I'm gonna kiss the puck. Mwah,
Show
And
us the
I'm-
windmill again.
and I'm gonna get
Yeah,
I'm gonna
one more
fucking
time.
win. Here's the deal: I got a torn labrum rotator cuff, but I'm still gonna snap the shit out of this puck all the way fucking around my head. Take it, kiss it, give it back to him. That's what I'm gonna do.
You're not going to pull out a
Wow.
cheeseburger.
Hey, I've already done
Ooh,
that.
yeah, you
Dan.
gotta find a spot for one of those.
I've already done that. I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, goalies lose pucks in their pants all the time. There's got to be a place for a cheeseburger.
hey,
for it.
I'll eat a cheeseburger while I'm making saves, snapping them off. What do you think about that?
Wow, it's a lot of bold talk, and
I
we
feel like
need
you're
to
going
get
to
these
vomit in that mask.
subscribers and followers.
Hey, you get it. I'm a man of my word. I'll do it. I went to the best wing joint in the fucking world, Buffalo Wild Wings. Did the Blazing Challenge when we filled up and hit the numbers
Not
for the
even that hot.
BLPA.
Not even that hot.
Listen, you know what's hot for me? Mild. So Blazing was pretty damn hot for me. I got a weak palate in here, Dan. It's burned me up.
Well,
Rookie
we need to
mouth
fix
over
that.
there.
Took me
You
hot.
need more Waffle House bacon.
Oh God, I love me some Waffle House, bro.
Now that's a chain that I can get behind.
All right, so there we go. That's the challenge. Hey, if these goalies, And for one, I already went on the record, said I don't hate goalies. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where.
You called it the year of the goalie.
Okay, I do know where it came from, but it's not true. All right. It was in my past.
Wow.
It was in my youth. But I've been on the straight and narrow for about a year and a half now. Just, respecting goalies.
Yeah, you haven't upset
goalies.
any goalies online ever this
until
year. It's been great.
Definitely not.
And then here's the deal. And then they had that big thing in the BLPA where it was about goalies paying. And I didn't have an opinion. I straddled the fucking fence. I straddled it. I said, listen, the only thing I'm going to say is if you're going to,
I guess I must have missed the fence.
well, if you're going to come at me with your gear cost, here's what my gear cost. And I play a lot of hockey and go through a lot of sticks. So I spend a lot of money. So that doesn't really fly with me, the money spending. Okay. But I'm still not saying that goalies should pay. I'm fully on board with it's a team decision. The only thing I don't want is I don't want goalies that come into my room and demand to play for free. If you come into my
Never
room,
experienced that.
if you come into my room and you say, I'm not playing if this team doesn't pay for me, then see you later. But like my team's goalie here, he paid full price for 3 seasons. And then he came to me because I am the team GM, probably the greatest beer league team GM in the world too, by the way. He came to me and he said, hey Nick, I got to find you another goalie this season. I got laid off. So I can't afford to play. And so I went to the guys and said, hey, here's the deal. Old Spinny is, this is a situation he's in. Like we don't want him to not play. Like, what can we do? And they said, yeah, let's chip in. Let's do it. Right. And so we paid for him. He played for 2 seasons for completely free. And then he came and said, hey, I got my job back. I can go back and pay him. And the guy said, no, we enjoy having you. We're going to pay half price. We respect you showing up. And if you don't show up, you find a goalie. So that's how it happened. So I don't give 2 shits if a goalie pays or doesn't pay. But what I do care is the expectation that they should play for free. And that expectation being, we spend so much on pads. That argument
it's like the entitlement. Well. Your situation, that's how it should be done.
100%.
Yeah.
Him being straight up, hey, I can't afford it. The team being like, no, we've got you.
But there are goalies
each team has their own situation.
There are goalies that get into it just because they think it's free, which blows my mind. They're like, we got it.
Do you know who is one of those goalies?
Probably Big Dad.
It is Big Dad.
I knew it. 100% knew it. And he's actually a really good goalie too. But anyway.
He is actually a pretty good goalie too.
Like I don't know where this, even in that argument, it got lumped in that, Nick hates goalies, which isn't the case at all. I love scoring on them. I don't like them so much when they're stoning me, and that happens a lot, but I don't hate them.
It's like 99% of my ice time.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
I don't know what it's like to score a goal.
You don't?
You must play defense too.
Yep.
Yep. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the apples, baby.
Well, I should have no problem snapping
minus
you
block
off.
shots. Oh.
I have no
if I get a block shot and no
off.
goals, I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for the docket today, my friends. Everyone, have a good week. Be good or be good at it.